lovers of rock and roll, Joe C here. Are you digging all the music talk and want to see what my band, The Fallen Electric, is up to? Well, go to thefallenelectric.com for all news, show dates, and contact information. Also, be sure to listen to our album, Never Seen the World, available on all digital music stores and streaming apps.
It's time to get electrified.
Let's just go and waste some time on what was recreated and what was
From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foos Show! Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Joe C. And I'm Josh. And thank you all very much for listening to the Foos Show. Thank you for downloading the pod on most major podcast apps, subscribing, and telling a friend like a champ. You can always reach us at Foos Show. That's FTheBelowBarShow.com. And FTheBelowBar Show is our handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Foo?
Sifu.
All right. On tap today, we have Kyle and Nate. Kyle, you are beautiful BB gun. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good.
And Kyle, I understand, or Nate, I'm sorry. Nate, you are working with Kyle on a project that you guys are anticipating coming out within the next few months, years?
Yeah,
decades,
weeks.
I'm aiming personally
eons.
for April.
Okay,
Oh.
April. April's
like
nice.
April sometime, so possibly like spring. I want to have it like all out. Yeah, we're just working on something right now, and yeah, that's my project, Tommy Apollo.
Tommy Apollo. Okay. What's going to be the name of your guys' project?
You haven't gotten that far yet?
It's more of like a separate but together kind of thing. So I'm thinking we'll just be BB Gun and Tommy Apollo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
like Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So we'll have it in,
LA
like,
Guns and
yeah, so it'll be in like Spotify, like Tommy Apollo and like beautiful BB gun.
Ooh.
I think I don't know how that works entirely, but
we can spitball this shit right now, guys.
Let's just figure it out right now.
Get the
Apollo,
whiteboard.
Apollo BB gun.
exactly.
Apollo's BB gun. Boom.
There you go.
You're
Yeah.
here first,
That's
everyone.
pretty good.
I'll be here all
probably
day,
actually
people.
how he like. Oh wait, never mind. Hermes stole the cow. It was Apollo's cow, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, damn it.
Yep.
Back to the drawing board, people.
Yeah, well.
But the album's gonna be called The Way, and it's gonna be basically a story where we meet up. Some weird stuff happens. We get separated, and then we go on our separate ways. He goes into his albums after that, and then I go into my stuff.
Oh, right on.
All right.
Kind of like the movie Superbad.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Kyle, we're going to play one of your tracks later on in the episode. Can you tell us a little bit about what your journey's been like?
Yeah, sure. So Beautiful BB Gun kind of started in 2012, but I just recorded like 6 albums worth of like demos and stuff, and I put it up on Bandcamp, and I was like, this shit is pretty lame because it's just like phone demos and stuff.
Okay.
So I took it all down, and I started fresh in 2017, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take this more seriously. So I went into the studio, my garage.
Okay.
And
Studio's a studio.
and then I recorded my first album, Grow Up, which is kind of like, it's just your journey, like from a young adult to like an adult. And then
Kind of like what everyone always told you as a young adult. Grow up. Why don't you grow up?
yeah, it actually started from like an argument that me and my brother got into, and he told me to grow up, and I'm like,
Oh, shit. I'm reading into
isn't that
this.
like relative though? Like, I don't know. But and then I decided that I wanted to be like it kind of snowballed from there, and I collaborated with a friend of mine named Steven Redman. He's from like Montana or some shit, and we put an EP together, and then after that I was kind of like, okay, let's do a second album, and so I'm kind of doing my own second album, and the album's called A Long Shadow.
Okay.
And it's set to release sometime around summer.
Okay.
Summer probably. And I released one song off of it called Sophistry, which is kind of like a lower key cut. But this one that you're going to play on the show today is my second single called Wisdom Tooth. And it took me like a month to kind of record that. and write it. And I write as I record, so it took a while.
Oh, well, I mean, it's your studio, right? You get to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the way that I do it is kind of like I couldn't have somebody else do it. I kind of want somebody else to do it because that's less for me to do. But
Yeah.
Are you playing all the instruments on the track too?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
okay.
Well, that's cool.
I play drums, bass, guitar, and I sing.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm even. I'm
Can
even
you
more
do that,
impressed.
Josh?
Hell no.
Yeah.
I can't even do one of those. Wait, no, I could. No,
Nope.
no, I can't.
Nope.
No,
No, you can't do that.
anything.
Nope.
Can't do anything.
Yeah, that whole thing kind of stemmed from like I was in 2 bands before Beautiful BB Gun, and I realized like a pattern in these like in people that I try to work with, like kind of mind frame, and they just weren't as motivated as me, and they just
Yeah, you're
kinda,
going to find that a lot.
it really wasn't their thing.
Right.
Like I don't even know why they began it in the first place, and
Hobby,
so
probably.
yeah, and so I was just kind of like, okay, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. So I kind of just took the time to learn everything, and yeah.
It's funny, man. I was going through a similar path years ago as well, where I was in a band that fell apart, and then I'm just like, well, shit, let me do my own stuff. Obviously, I didn't have a garage where I can go in and record everything, so I, as I could, I found a microphone and just kind of made it happen that way.
Nice.
And then I just joined another band, and that kind of went away. But
I tried that. Believe me, it's easy. It's easier. I tried it.
yeah, but it's nice to have something that you created throughout the years that you can say you did it and you did it all all yourself.
Yeah.
So kudos, man. That's pretty dope. I had no idea you played all the instruments. I wish I could play the drums. And then I can probably put something together myself. But right on, man. Where
Thanks.
can everybody find you? Like, are you on Instagram, Facebook? Do you have a .com?
Sure. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, like anywhere where you find music, you'll find my latest work there pretty much. But a lot of the time I'll upload limited releases on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
So like beautifulbbgun.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
So that's the best place to find me probably.
Right
But
on.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook as well.
And Nate, since you're here, where can we find your stuff?
Basically same place. So you just look up Tommy Apollo on Spotify, SoundCloud, Instagram, stuff like that. If you follow the Instagram, I do have comics that tell part of the story that goes into the album.
That's
as well.
dope.
Those are red.
Oh.
Those are red.
Oh, okay.
Right on. I'll have to check that out. Question for any one of you guys: where do you draw inspiration? Specifically, I guess I'm looking at you now, Kyle. but for Wisdom Tooth, you said you wrote it as you went. It kind of evolved throughout this, a span of a month. Like, what
Sure.
was the intention? I guess from the beginning to like the final product.
Okay, so it kind of started with just the initial guitar riff, like at the very beginning. Not the little twinkle twinkle there, but the part after it. It started with that, and then I wrote a second guitar part that was not part of that song, and then it just kind of melded there. I consider myself more a guitarist than anything else,
Right.
so I write songs on the guitar. But in terms of lyrics and story,
Yeah, lyrically.
that song is kind of about like how we're all kind of human and we're all just kind of figuring out things. So sometimes we'll say things that we kind of regret a little bit, and yeah, that's what it's about. So, like in the chorus, I talk about how like you're not a robot,
Yeah.
you're just some cells and shit. So. I don't know. That's where some pretentious stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Pretentious is good sometimes, man. Sometimes it's good because people need to be woke.
Yeah, tablespoons.
Gotta stay woke, man.
Stay woke.
All right. Well, you just want to get into the fucking nerd news, man.
Sure, man. What's up, fellas? So, I know I asked you guys what your interests were as far as, comics, nerd news and stuff. You actually said, Kyle, you're interested in video games, right?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the video game The Witcher? The Witcher series?
Oh, snap.
I've actually never played that. Have
No.
you, Nate?
I haven't played it, but I know of it because it's just such a revered title among PC gamers.
It's pretty badass. I have it for the Xbox One.
Uh-huh.
I have The Witcher 3. I think it's called Hunting... The Long Hunt, I think.
Yeah.
The mechanics in it are crazy. You could switch between several swords, bows and arrows. It's from third person, and you're like a hunter that fights mythical creatures.
Yeah.
Like one of the opening scenes is you have to take down a griffin, and you
pretty
legit have to fight this guy, gigantic ass griffin, like roll around and slice at it. It's one of the toughest goddamn mechanics for a game, but the story's amazing. They're actually making a movie for it on Netflix, and it'll be starring none other than Superman, Mr. Henry Cavill. And it is actually set to begin production this upcoming February. So we're looking at more maybe like a release date of 2020, latest 2021. So I highly recommend that if you guys are PCers or Xbox, gamers. If you guys have an Xbox One,
I do.
Highly recommend it. It's available on the Xbox Store. So I mean, it's a great game, dude. Definitely.
I'll have to check it
recommend
out.
that. Yeah. So yeah, what kind of movies? Or let me kind of rephrase this question. Are you guys familiar with The Dude?
Yeah. Yeah, Big Lebowski.
Yeah, The Big Lebowski. So, Nate, you looked at me with a face of bewilderment, like, what did he just say? So, in the 90s, there was a movie by the name of The Big Lebowski.
It was great.
Yeah, right.
It was a hit. It was one of the best Coen brother movies I've ever seen, if not the best, and it starred none other than...
And it's funny, dude.
It's really funny. It starts with stars none other than Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi.
Okay, so something I've been sleeping on then.
Yeah, it's something you've been sleeping. It's pretty much a movie about a guy that loves bowling. That just a bunch of weird shit starts happening to him, and he lives in L.A. He's a hippie stoner that walks around in jelly sandals, like the old school jelly sandals, and a bathrobe all day.
Yep.
And he has, and the opening scene is he goes into a market and he gets a carton of milk, and in order to pay for it, he pays by check, and it's only like 80 cents, and he pays by check. And you could just see the cashier just look at him like, really, dude? He just like has his shades on, like smiles at her with the face full of milk because he opened the milk early. It's great. Yeah, there's even scenes where he bashes the Eagles. He's in a taxi, and he's just like, oh, come on, man. No Eagles, man. And the taxi guy's like, no, oh, hell no. You ain't talking shit about my Eagles. That's it. Get out of my motherfucking cab. He's like, oh, come on, man. I just need to get some. He's like, no. You talk shit about the Eagles, you get the fuck on out. And Eagles, of course, the rock band.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's in luck today because Mr. Jeff Bridges released a little 15-second teaser trailer. And in the tweet, he tweeted this out. This is what he says. Can't be living in the past, man. Stay tuned. And in the tweet, all of a sudden, you see a floor. You see the jelly sandals, bathrobe, scrolls all the way up, and it's none other than Mr. Jeff Bridges dressed as the Dude, smirking at the camera.
20 years later.
Wow.
And then it cuts to a scene like of a street, like just an empty street, and then you see a big-ass tumbleweed just pass by, and it says none other than 2319. So...
What?
So that's coming up next
pretty
month.
soon.
It's coming up next month, in
like
a couple
3
of
weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that.
2 weeks. Next Sunday. Next Sunday.
God.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Crazy, dude.
So they may be hinting at a trailer on Super Bowl Sunday, or the big game on Sunday, I should say.
It's Super Bowl. The Superb Owl.
Yes, the superb owl.
Yes.
It's the superb owl.
There you go.
So
So we don't get sued.
there it is. That's exactly what I was going for. Nail on the head. So were you a big fan of The Big Lebowski, Kyle?
Not really. You know what's funny? Is
Well, that was a complete waste of time.
how I learned about it though is like
Thanks
my
for the
friend added
education.
me to a Facebook group called Add More Dudes, and the premise of this Facebook group is literally just to add more people. And so everybody called themselves dudes in this group, and he's like, just add more dudes. Like, just it was like a meme. It was like a big meme. And so I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
Just
And
a
so-
room full of dudes. And did everyone put their profile picture of the dude from The Big Lebowski? Because that would have been hilarious.
That was the group picture.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure half those people dressed in bathrobes constantly. But yeah.
Oh, man, that's the dream right there. That's what that is. So moving on, in another series a lot of people are big fans of, Breaking Bad. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
I did twice.
Oh, twice.
Yeah.
Holy shit, twice.
Yeah, I like those.
It's
shows.
it's one of the best shows in
It is.
history
It is.
I agree.
of
I agree.
mankind.
Yeah.
No
Well-
hyperbole there.
Would you guys be excited to hear about a potential movie?
Yeah.
I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Yes, none other than the creator, Vince Gilligan, announced that there would be, in fact, a sequel movie to the series, to the TV show.
Wow.
And a lot of people are wondering, is Walter White coming back?
Is this
happening?
a prequel? Is this going to happen after?
Well, guess what, Foo?
Uh-huh.
Bryan Cranston has been slated to be coming back as none other than Mr. Walter White in the sequel.
Christ.
It'll also be showing the return of none other than what the hell's his name? Aaron Paul. There it is.
Okay.
Aaron Paul. Also, Kristen Ritter is maybe coming back, maybe in like a flashback to what had happened to her. Those of you who do not know, Kristen Ritter played the girlfriend Jane who OD'd
Yep.
on Jesse and caused him to go into
Jessica
that.
Jones.
Yes, Jessica Jones. Yeah, exactly. Wow, Foo, you pay attention.
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
Me and my girlfriend were actually thinking of going as Jesse and Jane for Halloween.
Oh,
really?
man.
Yeah.
Was she gonna have like the fake
The
needle
alive
in her
Jane?
arm?
Or
Like half of her's gonna be dead and half of her's gonna be like still alive. You know, that's how it's gonna work. Yeah,
Oh, man.
Is she gonna flip a coin to make decisions too?
yeah. She's gonna wear the plane like right here. That just goes down.
Damn.
Too soon or what?
No, I think it's enough time.
Cool.
They haven't said when the film is going to be premiering, but as of right now, they have casting calls out, and I think they're going to start production on it within the next few months. So look towards the summer to hear more concrete details as far as release date.
Sweet.
So, do you guys watch any like the Marvel films or like the Spider-Man films?
I saw Deadpool 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
I
Though.
I have gaps in my history, but I'm caught up with everybody not feeling so good.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I am right now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So
You haven't seen Venom?
No, have I got a story for that? But no. Actually, I have seen Venom. But yeah, I'm more obsessed with Infinity Wars because there goes Tom Holland's his Thickerus. there he goes, man. Right away.
Well, you know about the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, right?
Yeah.
That's coming back. So I mean, he's alive.
He's alive.
So
Unless it's like a flashback.
no, they said it's not a flashback.
Well, then
They said
fuck you, John.
I'm just saying, bro.
All right,
They already
no,
said
hey.
it. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, don't waste your time with. You said you saw Venom.
I saw Venom.
Okay, Kyle, don't waste your time with Venom. I'm just
Yes.
telling you right now. Don't.
Yes.
Don't. I was so upset.
Come on,
I-
Eminem did the soundtrack.
You know what?
dude.
That's what
No.
killed it. That's what fucking killed it.
Unfortunately,
The nail in the
that's what killed
coffin.
it.
I was
Yeah.
so cool with like the rest of the movie. I'm like, okay, I see what they're going with the story. I could,
Then he comes in and he's like, Venom.
yes, I'm a son of a
You're like,
bitch.
shit.
The most memorable quote from that movie that me and my girlfriend say all the time is just "like a turd in the wind."
Oh
The only
yeah.
reason that movie exists, that's what the budget went to. That line, that's it. We thought it was a prank.
What killed
when we
me?
watched it.
What killed me was there will be carnage. That was like, God damn you, Woody Harrelson. God damn you. You need to stick to stoner movies, please. Get away from my comics. Yes, but God damn it, Venom. The Venom song was just. It sounded like the car engine just constantly revving, and it's just like, okay, enough. We get it. Your car runs.
Dude, that was just such a bad use of bass lines.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And come on, man. Eminem.
I kind of want to watch this movie ironically now.
Yes,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
do
that's
it.
fine.
Go to a
That's fine.
drive-through. Just eat an edible beforehand.
Of course. I mean,
And-
that goes without saying.
Yeah, of course. Just bring a bag full of snacks, wait for that thing to peak, and then just watch it unfold and realize, wait a second, this has nothing to do with the comics.
Oh, really? It
Yes.
has nothing to do with
It
comics?
does not follow the
So
comics
how?
that well.
So at all?
No.
No, they try to make it its own story, pretty much.
Yeah.
What movie did that recently as well? Shit, I can't think of the name. Like how? Remember the Fantastic Four movie? That
Yeah.
remake? That
Yeah, yeah.
shitty goddamn remake. That should just.
I never saw that
Just-
one either.
yeah, good.
That was another one I needed to take an
That
edible
was
with.
that was upsetting. You know what? A lot of Fox and Sony movies are just goddamn upsetting.
Hit or miss. I guess they missed.
A lot of
twice,
miss.
huh?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
miss.
I
A
guess
lot
they have
of
miss,
times,
huh?
yeah.
It wasn't for them.
Well, back. Well, no, I shouldn't say that either because I was going to say, back when those came out, there was really no competition. But yeah, I mean, when these came out, there's plenty of competition.
Plenty, man.
And so I
Plenty.
mean, like they should have raised the bar.
I mean, there
significantly.
was the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight series of Batmans. Those, my God,
That's
you know
true.
what, man? That's where DC peaked, in my opinion.
Hey, man, they're trying.
They peaked. They peaked with the Nolan versus Batman.
It was good.
It was so
Batman's
great.
always good.
Yeah.
I will say that. Like, I'm not a huge comic book fan, but when I was a little kid, I was obsessed with Batman.
Oh, I'm obsessed with Batman now, and I'm almost a 30-year-old man. But,
I
you know,
have
that's a
nothing
different
against
story.
those kinds of people. Like, I've just drifted. I guess I don't know.
No. That's understandable. I
I
mean,
need to go back to the lights. I still actually haven't seen the Dark Knight movies. I've seen bits and
Really?
pieces,
The first,
but not the whole thing.
Really?
Oh.
Not
Yeah.
Begins, Dark
Yeah,
Knight, or
I
Dark Knight
missed,
Rises?
None of
I
those,
missed
no.
Bane,
Oh my God!
so I gotta catch up on that.
Yeah.
You guys,
I remember
really need to
Michael
watch
Keaton
this.
Batman.
I will say though,
Oh,
like,
yeah, that was actually
even though
great.
Batman v Superman was terrible, Ben Affleck did decently as Batman.
You know,
I'm not mad at him.
I'm
not mad at him.
I thought what he did as Batman and even as Bruce Wayne was serviceable. Like I thought that
Yeah.
okay, I like his adaptation, but God, he just was screwed by bad directing and bad script writing.
Also, like what was that bathtub scene? Who has a bathtub? Who has that kind of bathtub, like a raised bathtub, in like whatever year this movie is?
Yeah,
Like,
in New York. Well,
yeah, like
it's supposed to be like a New York thing, so I guess some New York places have
wait,
that.
does Superman like can canonically take place like in the past?
It takes place in like Metropolis, but like some parts of it, where he's supposed to be like slums, New York kind of thing.
Okay, makes
But it's supposed to be a little bit more
sense.
futuristic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still an awkward scene.
It is an awkward scene. It had no point in it. I stumbled upon that like it was playing on FX, and it was the part where she was just sitting in the tub, and all of a sudden he's like, "Let me join in with you with all my clothes." It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is so lame.
Yeah.
Nate, you've never taken a bath in New York?
Nope.
What?
I've never been in New York.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it's
Take
a
it
song.
how you will.
No, I'm just
It's a song.
It's our newest song.
no bath too.
Hold on. I think we're onto something here, people.
To the Bronx.
Oh man, yeah, that movie was just. The only thing that saved that movie for me was the extended version, which is almost 3 fucking hours long.
What?
Yeah, because I remember me and Josie here and my cousin and his wife, we went to go see it in the theaters, and I was faded as all hell and drunk.
It ruined our day.
And yeah, it ruined my high. It legit ruined
Damn,
my
son.
high. And I was like...
That takes a lot for a superhero movie to do. I imagine.
I was so disheveled after the movie. Like, we went to go drink at a bar
Too
just
long.
because I'm like, dude, I gotta have a drink. And I'm just
Felt like
sitting
work
there.
at that point.
Yeah, we're just... And then we go to the bar, we sit at the table, all have our drinks, and nothing but silence.
Have you ever been moded? Have you ever just like been moded and you have nothing to come back with?
No.
Yeah, you have.
No.
Motherfucker.
I always talk shit, though. So it doesn't,
Yeah, but
doesn't
no,
work.
like have you ever been genuinely moded?
Where I'm silent.
Yeah.
Rarely, but yeah.
It
okay.
felt like that.
Yeah,
the,
it did.
the end of the movie
Like a
felt
long
like that.
car ride or something.
It's like,
Yeah,
what?
just a
Like,
long,
what?
silent car
Like,
ride.
I didn't know what
Man.
to say. You're just like in the. I'm still like I'm in there like with my thumb up my ass, waiting for something to happen, and nothing fucking happened. But then everything happens at once.
It's like, let me paint the scene for you here. It's like watching Batman and Superman on there just getting raped, beaten up, like just mangled, and then afterwards we're all leaving because we all shared a horrific experience and we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're just kind of like, yeah, don't make eye contact with me for like 5 minutes.
Some
Yeah.
things are better left on the cutting room floor, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
And I had posted that I had watched it, and so like a few of my friends were like, so how was it? I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
And you're just like, please.
Yeah, they're like, oh wow.
Don't make me relive my
I
childhood.
woke up in the middle of the night. I wake up my wife and I'm like, is this my fault? did
Short
I
answer,
do? What
yes.
did I do? Like
Short answer, yes.
What's my last
You had
the
interest in
tickets.
watching this movie. You
Oh my
did this.
god! Yeah, I did it to myself, man. Disappointment of the decade for sure. And so, it was so hyped up. it was so hyped up, and it was going to be the Batman Superman that we were all hoping for, and it didn't go down.
Yeah, and because I was excited because I had read the comic it was based off of, The Dark Knight Returns, which is supposed to be like in the future where Batman's like 40, 50 years old. And he comes out of retirement, and they pretty much sick Superman to bring Batman down, because Batman's like created like this whole little militia in Gotham City and taken over the city. And so that's when Batman gets that suit and he fights Superman. He legit beats the shit out of him. But it all happens completely. In no way, in no scene, in no fucking panel did it ever mention the goddamn name Martha. That was the dumbest goddamn
I'm
scene.
literally just about to mean that right now.
Yes,
Martha.
Martha. Martha, why'd you say her name?
Yeah, it's just like, what?
I would have been happy with the way they introduced each other in the Batman Superman Adventures animated series,
That was pretty cool.
where Bruce Wayne just goes to Metropolis, starts banging Lois Lane, and then Superman has a problem with it.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that.
Well, then I think that's when he finds him out, and then all of a sudden, like, you see Superman going into his, like, I think he's in, like, his apartment, and you see in the far distance and corner, you see Batman with his binoculars waving at him, like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Like, I got you, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, like, there's some comic scenes between those two that are just so great. There's one scene in the Batman animated series where Superman pretty much just goes up to Batman. He's just like, so what makes you think I can't just snap you, that I can't just, I can just pummel you within an instant? And all of a sudden, Batman just pulls out of his pocket a little sliver of kryptonite and puts it right in his face. He's like, the reason why you won't is because I know you. He's like, I always plan ahead, and I know I'll do whatever it takes to win, unlike you. And it's just like, oh, you just got moded, motherfucker.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
We're trying to bring back moded, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
He
except
got
for the fact
voted,
that
you guys
Batman
got
doesn't
voted.
kill. So
Yeah, he doesn't kill, but technically Superman's an alien, and he doesn't kill humans.
Okay.
Because, he kills...
Can Superman
Now
die?
that's just xenophobic.
I mean, right?
Okay.
I guess, you make a good point there, but Batman has no problems breaking every bone in people's bodies, though.
Oh,
as
no.
long as, you'll make them suffer.
If it's a bone, he will break it.
Yes.
Like, you're guaranteed to not come out with any of your limbs intact when you go up against Batman.
You're probably going to wish you were dead after he fucks you up.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Kyle, you were about to say something?
Oh, I said, can Superman even die?
With kryptonite and in a red sun, because the yellow sun gives like off a radiation that causes him to have those superpowers.
Okay.
So if it were to turn red, or like during a solar eclipse, solar eclipse,
He can't absorb.
he can't absorb any
solar-
radiation, any solar radiation. So you
that
can
makes sense.
technically
that
kill
makes
him.
sense.
Yeah,
And
I'm
he's
not one
weak
for
against magic.
origins.
Yeah, so he
Okay.
sucks against magic, and kryptonite is basically like his nuclear fallout.
Pretty
Gotcha.
much.
So just keep slapping him with it.
Yep. Slap him in the face like a dick.
Yeah.
Anyways, on the next news. Are you guys familiar with
Shiny green dick. Also playing Coachella.
Oh yeah. I heard they're playing on a very small stage.
Oh, Jesus.
You're gonna
Oh,
need
that's
a-
my favorite one.
Gotta support the locals.
support the locals. So you guys, do you guys read or have you seen like the old school Spider-Man TV show or the animated show like in the 90s?
I actually can't read.
Oh wait, the 90s.
Really?
No, I'm just
Oh, I was like, oh wow. Now I feel like a
Wait,
dick.
the 90s one.
Yeah.
With the really dope theme song.
Yes. And there's Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Like this,
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yes.
My shit.
So do you guys remember a character in there, Morbius, the living vampire?
Yes.
It was like the crossover with Blade, where they introduced Blade
Yep.
into
That
Spider-Man.
was
movies.
my favorite arc, dude. That
Well,
was sick.
I'm not sure if you guys are familiar or know of this, but they're actually going to be making a movie, Morbius the Living Vampire, starring Jared Leto. He will be playing Morbius. And they just announced that none other than Mr. Matt Smith, who became popular for playing Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor Who, he will be joining the cast. They haven't firmly said what he will be playing. Or what role he will be playing, but they said that he's going to be playing the big major role. So most likely, most likely he'll be the main antagonist or villain. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can't wait to see what they do with this because, like you guys, I loved that whole little sequence when it was the living vampire. It just would freak the fuck out of me because I was terrified of vampires.
Is it going to be Sony again? With this,
it's gonna
about that.
It's gonna be no, but Foo, it's gonna be okay.
All right, I don't believe you.
Press X to doubt.
No, press the check, please. Press son of a bitch.
Nope.
just give it a chance. Can somebody just give it a chance?
No.
Oh.
No, God!
But Michael, I mean...
No, God, please, no!
Michael.
No.
Somebody get him some paper for the love of God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so they haven't announced when it will be coming out. I believe they're starting to do some... pre-production at the moment, and most likely look at to start filming this upcoming March or maybe even April. So
Nice.
yeah. So
Yeah.
do you have anything, Josie?
Not really. I just want to complain about Sony more because fuck
okay.
those guys. They've what's their win to loss ratio at this point? I mean, how many? I think we
let's
could
count it out. Let's
we
count
could
it out.
easily count the good movies that came out of Sony, right?
Okay, so Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, number 1. I would say it was pretty good.
When it came out, I was impressed.
Honestly, that whole trilogy I liked.
I
Also,
didn't-
the whole trilogy was pretty good.
I enjoyed that. I
You
saw
like
that.
so wait, you like Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man.
Yes, gotcha.
Gotcha, baby.
That was my jam.
Oh my god.
Nostalgia, dude.
That scene. That goddamn.
I just remember my dad getting super mad when Eddie Brock went into the church and was like, "Jesus, I want you to kill Peter Parker." Like, my dad got so triggered by that shit.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? I mean,
It's like, and even back then I was like, he's the bad guy though.
No, he would. If anybody's gonna say anything like that, it's that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like that in the comics. I mean, Eddie
Exactly.
Brock hated Spider-Man and Peter Parker, so
yeah.
he wanted them dead. It wasn't until like later in the comics that he was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and then it wasn't even until later in 2018 that he was just a turd in the wind.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big turd, though. It's a big turd in the wind.
And okay, so we got Spider-Man. I think we can all agree on 1 and 2.
1 and 2. 3, I would say that's like middle ground.
It's not a
Middle
universal.
ground.
It's not universally loved.
No, but it's okay.
What else has Sony done that has been okay?
Amazing Spider-Man, the one with Andrew Garfield.
Okay,
Amazing
all right.
Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man, you know what? I liked where they went with it. I did not like how they animated Lizard Man. That was my biggest gripe. I liked how they did the story. You know, I liked what they were building. It was great, but that whole animation where his face still looked almost like man-like, like as if he was Voldemort, like with a
It was
tail.
weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a little off-putting. So I mean, I would have been fine if it was straight like the long lizard
yeah.
snout. You know, that would have been awesome. But you know,
I wasn't a fan of Jamie Foxx in part 2 though.
no, that killed it for
That
me. 100%
took me out of the movie. For one, it's Jamie Foxx, and then he's playing like some Urkel character.
Turning into this badass electric villain.
I don't know. It wasn't for me, man.
It didn't sync with me either.
Honestly, I feel like they wasted him.
They did.
They
wasted him
totally
straight
wasted
up.
him.
Not only him, but Dane DeHaan as Green Goblin. How they did that whole they rushed it. They rushed the whole Green Goblin storyline, and I think they killed Gwen Stacy too soon. They should not.
She was supposed to do a lot more.
Yeah, she was supposed to be in there a lot more. So I mean, they still had plans for a third movie. So the fact of the matter that they killed her off before the third movie, they should have killed her off in the third movie, and introduced Mary Jane Watson like they were supposed to in number 2, and then gone on after that. So I think that one is by far the worst. That along, I think from bottom up, I think it goes Amazing Spider-Man 2, Venom, Spider-Man 3 for me, and then Amazing Spider-Man after that. Then Spider-Man 1, and I think Spider-Man 2 is actually the better of all the films.
It is really good.
It holds up.
It was pretty good.
Like
Yeah.
Alfred Molina's, portrayal of Doc Ock was
Yes.
amazing.
It was satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like the cartoon. It's like watching,
Yeah.
out of the pages for sure.
That villain outfit, though.
Oh, the trench coat and no
No,
t-shirt.
Just like all leather at one point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
That's right. Oh man, yeah. This is a great series, but Sony, just stop it. Just stop it.
Stop.
All right, just give it back to Marvel. Let them handle it. Let them, do what they got to do, and step aside.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. Stay
Yeah.
in your lane.
Continue making PlayStations.
Yes, and you can make Spider-Man video games. I like the last one.
That was nice.
I beat the last one.
That was very nice.
And
Please reboot Jack and Daxter.
oh my God, Jack and Daxter was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That shit was low key like one of the best PS games I had ever played, along with like the Crash Bandicoot series.
Crash.
I was
Did you
gonna
play
say that.
Ratchet?
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I played the first one. I didn't play the next few after that.
Oh, two was the best one because there's like that trend with video games where like the two like they have all these cool things.
Yeah.
And then 3, wasn't that like Up Your Arsenal or some bullshit?
Oh,
where
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
basically just like a giant gunfight.
Pretty much.
That was like, it was okay, but I
was
had some
okay.
fun memories of it. So
I'm a Parappa the Rapper kind of guy myself.
You can get it out.
All right, I'll see my way out.
Well, Foo,
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
that's
man.
gonna do it for Nerd
For
News.
Nerd News. Well, we got another joint report today, everybody.
You want
Oh
weed?
yeah.
Give me some. I'll smoke you two under the table.
Well, I learned something today in doing some research for the joint report. There's this thing called a tissue culture lab or tissue culture method in cultivating your weed.
What kind of culture are they?
Well, shut up. So the tissue culture is the growth. I mean, it's used in agriculture, I guess, from time to time. But it's a tissue culture is the growth of tissues or cells in an artificial medium separate from the organism. So it's kind of. It's interesting. It's kind of like on a genetic level, it's cleaner. They want to clean out all the bad genetics from it and grow it in a very isolated way. So I'm going to play a video right now that would explain it a little bit more. And this is about Seattle's industrial Sodo neighborhood, where the place is called House of Cultivar, and it's an award-winning indoor cannabis farm with a passion of growing and preserving premier cannabis genetics. So they're really taking care of this from a genetic perspective. So check this out.
Just south of the city center in Seattle's Sodo neighborhood sits a house unlike any other. This isn't a typical house. In fact, it's a nondescript warehouse in an otherwise industrial zone of the city. This is the House of Cultivar, an award-winning Tier 3 cannabis grow in Washington state. Utilizing the latest grow technology and advanced agricultural techniques, they're able to balance commercial indoor farming and sustainable efforts without sacrificing quality. They're proactive farmers who operate with a motto that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So to maximize plant health, each bud starts its journey in the House of Cultivar's Tissue Culture Lab. Welcome to Only the Best. I'm Will Hyde, here with Matthew Gabori, one of the founders of House of Cultivar, and we're in the Tissue Culture Lab to check out some of their genetics library. So what was the motivation for building a tissue culture lab instead of just doing sort of traditional propagation through cloning?
For us, it's all about maximizing plant health.
The Tissue Culture Lab at House of Cultivar helps their team maximize quality by sterilizing and reinvigorating their validated genetics.
All of our mom plants end up in these in vitro jars at one point. And essentially what this allows us to do is remove any pests or pathogens, first and foremost, that may be on that plant.
By sterilizing their plants at a cellular level, House of Cultivar is able to avoid noxious chemical pesticides. Furthermore, their tissue culture lab offers them a more scalable way of managing their mom stock and maintaining their vast library of genetics.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Good to see
Well,
you.
good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to come down.
Yeah, thanks for showing us around. So what are we doing here in this room?
This is our clone room. So we run mostly easy cloners. So it's basically a hydroponic cloning methodology. We're essentially taking, cuts off a mother plant, shaving down 1 or 2 nodes that is going to go in the neoprene and then essentially get placed into the misting hydroponic rooter. 10 to 12 days later, we're going to pull some roots out.
So once you have them well rooted in here, then it's off to veg, yeah?
Yeah, then it's stage 1 of veg. They get potted up. For us, our methodology, our stage 1 of veg is about 2 weeks.
Well, let's check out the moms.
Yeah, let's check out the moms. So this is our mom room number 1.
How many genetics do you guys have sort of in mom food?
We're probably somewhere around 350.
Should we check out the ones you have in rotation?
Yeah, let's check out the production room. We've got moms that are kind of on their way being brought up to replace. So this is actually our cherry pie kush. You can see really nice stout structure on that, really broad leaf. On this side over here, you'll see kind of some younger plants. And then these are kind of your more mature plants. Here we are, we're in the cultivar trim room, and we're gonna crack some jars. So we're gonna start with the tiramisu. It really has that kind of purpley, kind of kush nug structure, but carries that gas forward from the cookies, and then has that chocolatey earthiness from the kush.
Deeply complex, you can't quite tell what it is that you're smelling until it's already sort of past your nose.
Well, thanks for taking the time to come down and check us out. You're welcome anytime. We'll continue to roll out more and more strains and have fun showing them to the world. That's what makes this fun.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having us. Absolutely. And look forward to the next time I come by and check out some more of your awesome genetics.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what a mother plant is, at least these agricultural farms that produce all the weed, like Josh, you and I went to Denver. We toured this big warehouse, and they just had one huge mother plant.
Yeah.
Huge. It was what would you say, 15 feet tall? Give or take?
Was it?
Yeah, it was pretty tall, man. It was pretty tall.
Oh yeah, that was the one they were snipping off the.
Yeah, and so what a mother plant is in that scenario is that's pretty much every plant that's being grown in there was seeded from that or cloned from that. Mm-hmm. So that's the mother plant that they clone continuously, because what some people do, at least in their closets and shit like that, they clone the clone and then they clone that, and then it starts to dilute the genetics of the plant.
And that's when you get bunkweed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. At a certain point.
Very much bunkweed.
So to be consistent with it, the mother, you just leave the mother plant alone. Always shine light on it so that it's so that it doesn't do anything crazy.
Just put it on display.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, here, take a nug, smell it.
Yeah.
And dude,
that motherfucker was fresh.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. But in this situation, they're getting more scientific with it so that they can clean up the genetics and it can be as pure as humanly possible. And then they can brand it and sell it like that.
That's dope. I'm so excited.
What a time to be alive, fellas.
What a time to be alive. Foo, I actually got some joint report news for you.
All right. Hold on, hang on. There you go.
So I know we had discussed this previously, but remember when we had mentioned that Mr. J and Silent Bob would be having their own weed brand or marijuana brand?
Yeah.
So Nate and Kyle, for you, since, I don't know if you guys know this, but the characters Jay and Silent Bob, Kevin Smith's characters from like the Clerks movies and stuff like
Clerks.
that. Yeah. So he actually partnered up with Chemisys and Dank City the media firm, to start up their own product called Jay and Silent Bob's Private Stash. Mm-hmm. And it will be available starting this January in every legal state.
It is January, though.
Yeah.
So now.
It's now. It's now. It's now. It's happening. It's available now. They have Bazooka, which is the sativa, Snoogans, which is the indica, and then they got Snoochie Boochies, which is the hybrid. They start off at pre-rolls, 5-packs, or jars of flour, but next up they're actually going to have oils and pet CBDs. So you can actually find all these starting at most of your weed stores. They should be having them, probably some more towards LA that are more licensed and actually brand a little bit better.
Yeah.
So look out for Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Oh, dude, I'm hoping that they do this little tour with it, because every now and then I'll see a vendor at my shop, just kind of showcasing the new product and things like that. I wonder if they're gonna go themselves, stand outside.
Oh, dude,
looking all shady as fuck.
Don't doubt it. It's gonna happen.
That'd be sick.
Like in traditional Jay and Silent Bob fashion.
Well, you know that they're actually going to be releasing a movie soon, right?
Yep.
So coincidentally, this did not come out, the product did not just become available in January for no reason. Their movie's actually going to be coming out very soon. Like they're saying maybe in the summer.
Nice.
So this is supposed to coincide with that. And like they're trying to like merge the brands together. So you may see them at some grand openings where they'll be releasing their products. You may even see them at some conventions. Like I think, what is it? Tommy Chong's Blazers Cup that he has in San Bernardino.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it's called, but yes, I think whatever Tommy Chong does.
Yeah, whatever Tommy Chong has.
Yeah.
There's also there's a bunch of conventions, so I'm sure they'll be there. Like, I mean, I'm gonna probably down to be going to one of these just so I can see these guys.
That'd be cool.
I've been trying to go to a Wii convention. I haven't gone to one yet.
I don't know.
I hear they're lit.
Yeah, I hear they're lit too, but I'm like so paranoid because I'm like, dude, cops are just probably camping out of there. It's like, all right, let's see what these motherfuckers do. Like, we got to make quota today.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just do a month's worth of arrests right there.
Yeah, as long as you avoid the last week of the month and the first week of the month, you should be good.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes. Usually how it goes. Cool, man. Well, that's going to do it for the joint report, everybody.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Twisting my arm.
Well, last but not least, we got the music highlights. Well, Eargasm high fidelity earplugs already trusted by 100,000 customers and growing. Enjoy your favorite activities without worrying about damage to your ears. Keep the noise to a minimum, but still hear people talking and hear music with clarity. Discreet design, and it comes with a lightweight aluminum case for easy transport. Click through the banner at FooBarShow.com to get yours and help support the show. Eargasm, put it in your ear.
Put it in your ear. What just happened?
Kyle, so tell us again, man. Wisdom Tooth, right?
Yeah.
So this is your latest song. It came out, what is the December 31st, 2018?
What year is it?
Yeah.
When did you drop it?
New Year's Day.
Oh, New Year's Day. Okay.
New Year's Day, yeah.
Okay. Right
some places got a slightly earlier, that kind of indie release
Special
thing.
release.
Isn't
Okay.
exactly on time, but yeah.
Good shit, man. Well, let's listen to it.
Okay.
It's not like I've been here that long. I've been stuck on my words, coinciding with my actions. Not trying to be huge. Always been tiny, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Happy, possibly, oh possibly. As long as there's efficiency. Going through this thought every moment, sticking to my random access. Oh, well, I got no CPU. Well, I guess it's glued to my wisdom too.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty good stuff, man. That's pretty.
Thank you.
That's pretty impressive. That it was just all you on every part of that.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because I noticed that you had put this on your post, is that you classify this as anti-pop, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell me more about that. That's somewhat of a new term for me.
Okay, so for me, anti-pop kind of means like I love to incorporate catchiness into my music and poppiness, but at the same time, it's not exactly what you'd expect from like pop music. So I can't really call it pop.
Oh, okay.
But so it's like pop, but like with a dingy, low production kind of angle. There you go.
Yeah, because you can't call it like punk pop because that's taken.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I just thought of it one day. I don't. It probably has a formal definition, but that's my definition.
No, run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally,
you
dude.
discovered it. You discovered it first.
Coin it.
Coin it. Just get the TM at the end.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Brockhampton took boy band, so take anti-pop man.
Yeah, flip it on its head. That's right.
And Kyle, I also asked you in traditional FUBAR fashion, during the music highlights, we always like to have guests bring in other songs that you feel maybe never really got the love that they deserved when they came out. And you shared a couple with me, and I wanted to go ahead and play them here. This first one is Jacket by Sun Academy. What should I know about this band? How long have they been around? Do you know any of that?
Yeah, sure. The guy I mentioned earlier, one of my friends, Stephen Redmond, that's actually his sort of pseudonym.
Okay.
And so right now he's this kid from like Montana, and I think he has an immense potential because he's like 15 or 16.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And he just he sits in his room and produces like music, and he's like, I don't know, I just sat there for like 10 minutes and made it. And I was like, well, what the fuck do you mean 10 minutes?
He's like a wunderkind or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. The dude, I don't know. I think he has a lot of talent, and he just reminds me of some of like Beck's old stuff, which like influences me like a lot.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
Sweet, man. Well, let's listen to it. Man.
It was very enjoyable.
That was cool.
The kid rocks.
Yeah.
This other song, and this is probably my favorite one out of the ones that you hit me up with about, because it's probably the catchiest at least. It's a song called "Girl" by No Buses, and they have an official video already out. But what should I know about No Buses, Kyle?
Well, they're a band from Japan, yeah.
All right.
They're from Japan, and they're also pretty young, and I think they have a lot of potential. They kind of sound like the Strokes, in my opinion. But how I found them was I was actually just on YouTube. I watch YouTube like a lot, and they were just in my recommended videos. And I was just like, it's colorful.
It's cool. It's cool to find bands like that, just like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's sometimes I just put on some random like band that I've never heard of on Pandora, and just I'll run with it.
Yeah, give them a chance.
Yeah, and
you never know until you hear it.
And then you hear other bands like that, that come up in that category, and I'm always pleasantly surprised with some gems in there. Definitely. But this one, I don't know. It's just check it out. Yeah. You'll like it. hey, man. Thanks again for coming on the show. Really good stuff. You guys have been fun to hang out with.
Yeah, you guys have been awesome to hang out.
Thanks for inviting us on.
Oh,
dude. Yeah.
It's fun.
In fact, you found me, right?
That's true. That's true. I actually found you in Enzo's comments.
That's right.
Okay.
And you mentioned the show, and I was like, show. Huh. And then I looked into it.
2 and 2 and made
You did some research to make sure we weren't just a bunch of serial killers.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, did Enzo leave?
Well,
alive?
hang on, Josh. The day is young.
We haven't
Take me
left
with
yet.
you. Take me with you guys, please.
Oh, sweet. No
I'm
more
scared.
bills.
No more bills. It reminds me of an old Bill Burr joke. Where it's just like, have you ever just wanted to kill yourself? Like, have you ever just said, yeah, I'll make a pie for Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving rolls around, it's like, I really want to fucking just throw my face through that window right now so I don't have to bake that pie.
Then there'd be no more bills.
Yeah. Dip.
Yeah, exactly. Just like we were talking about. So, Nate, I'll let you have the first shot at it. Where can we find your stuff again? Go ahead and showcase that.
You can find my stuff, Tommy Apollo, at SoundCloud, Spotify, Instagram, stuff like that. And I mostly update my stuff, what's going on through Instagram.
Okay.
Sweet.
And then Kyle.
And Kyle.
Yeah, for me, you find me on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, pretty much anywhere where you find music, you'll find me. If you just Google my name, Beautiful BB Gun, and you'll find me.
Beautiful BB Gun, man. Thanks again for coming on, for being on the show.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep in touch, guys, especially when you guys come out with your combined project.
Yes, please come back.
I would definitely love to have you guys back.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you all very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. Thank you for downloading the pod on most major podcast apps, subscribing, and telling a friend like a champ. You can always reach us at Foo Bar Show. That's FTheBelowBarShow.com. And FTheBelowBar Show is our handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. I've been Josie. And for beautiful BB Gun Kyle and his buddy Nate, signing off saying, don't be a dick.